we're live.
All yours, Miss Jennifer.
Alrighty, so if you will, please mute your electronic devices. And join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. We call the regular meeting to order at 4 o'clock. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call of committee, please.
Chairman Aspa,
Present.
Vice Chair Beavers.
Here.
Member Waldenegro.
Here.
Member Page.
Here.
Member Rodriguez.
Here.
Member Heartless.
Here.
And Member Matanotsky. Always have such a hard
He's
time
coming
with that
late.
one. He's on his way. Okay. We'll just note his time when he arrives.
Thank you. Any call to the public?
No, ma'am.
All right. Steve, we'll let you go ahead, please.
Updates for the parks, I'll go real quick because we got a lot on our agenda here today. The basketball court fence was installed, finished installing last week. Turned out great, and that's at Western Park. The dugout fencing is complete. Staff is scheduling to install the new benches in each of those dugouts. They have it scheduled for this week. We'll see how far they get. There's a big water break out in the middle of the city park ball fields that they're having to take care of first. So we'll see how quickly they can get that fixed. But and that's really it.
Thank you. All right, Easter extravaganza. So at this point, Kelly McGuire is donating 12 baskets like she normally does. Seraptimus is doing the coloring contest.
Optimist is in for the coloring contest, and they are going to do the chalk contest because Chamber is not going to be there, so they're going to cover both of those.
Okay.
We'll have 2, if not 3, Optimists that will be there.
Okay.
They've got the coloring, they've got the crayons, and they've got the chalk. We just need to put together the coloring.
Yep, Amy and I talked about that a
contest
little ago, yeah.
thing.
So about how many, based upon what you'd used last year, how many do you think you want out there?
Last year, we needed to go, we actually went to Spanky's and made copies
Right.
twice. But I don't remember how many I made, and I don't remember that. But I want to say, I would say, did you do 75 last year? Do you remember?
To be honest with you,
I don't remember. 75 is in my head, and I'm thinking we went back and got 25 and 25.
So if we did 150, we should be fine.
150, we should be
So
fine.
if we do the 300 for the schools and then 150, so 450.
do 200 or
Yeah.
500 altogether.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I know EWS has their coloring books, and I bought, I think, like 75 or 50 more to do handouts with the little 4-pack of crayons.
Crayons, perfect.
So-
And that's what we usually set on the tables.
I think EWS was gonna drop them off here. Okay, so, and then I have the rest of the coloring books,
so we just
because I
said-
wanted to make it like even like 250 or something like that.
Yeah, so I just told them I will not be there, just so everybody knows, my daughter has a volleyball tournament, so, the Optimists will be there, they know. to
Who's in
do-
charge for Seraptimus?
It's gonna be Evelyn from the bank and Holly will be there, or the 2 for sure, Evelyn Samaniago, I don't know how to say
Okay.
your last name, and Holly Lucas.
Okay, all right, and then the basketball court is not gonna be the tricycles because of the court being new. So the senior center is, or the community center is going to hand out popsicles for a small charge. All the money will go back to the community center from the concession stand. So that is what they're gonna do. I believe that Amy's had 2 groups turn in for games. I did pitch that today on the Healthy La Paz call. So is the hospital gonna try to set up and do a game?
Hospital, yeah.
3, okay, so that would make 4 so far. Yeah, so that would make the 4 so far. So we do need groups for games, so,
Did River,
Regional Center for
no, the church upriver?
Yes.
They did, okay, because I did
Okay.
reach out to her.
I have personally handed out at least 50. I know you guys were supposed to be handing out too, so I'm trusting that you did. I've hung flyers about, I think I did 15 and 10 or whatever, because I got some more, so like 25 flyers are hanging around town, the bigger ones. And then, so, games, the bouncers. So here's the deal with the bouncers. Enriquez is the one we have been using, he's sold out. So there, I have contacted 4 people for bouncers. So the, one of them, Giovanni's brother, does have bouncers available. So what he said is, if we can pay him cash, it'll be $250, and he'll give us the 2 obstacle courses and the 1 bounce house we asked for. But if he's gotta do an invoice, then he has to charge his regular pricing. So it will be more like $750.
Wow.
So what I'm gonna try to do is get a couple of cash donations from people, and that way we can just have the $250 cash and pay him the $250 and save the money. And that way we'll, like we had agreed, we'll have the 2
Yeah.
obstacles and then the 1 bounce house.
Can we do that?
What?
Cash donations and do that, or how?
Always done that.
Yeah, that's.
We've always done that
Okay,
in the
I
past.
was just wondering.
Yeah,
I'm just
there's a
checking in.
lot of times when,
Checks and balances and
I know.
that's all.
So there, so, yeah. Amy, there's no issues with that, right?
I'll check, but I don't
It's not- okay.
see why somebody couldn't donate the 250 for the bounce house.
Yeah.
And pay for it to him, yeah.
Okay.
I'll check just to make sure.
Okay.
And then, the extravaganza, we met at the park, kind of talked about a bigger playing field area. At this point, Amy, you've had 2 groups, 1 group of eggs turned in, but they didn't fill them for whatever reason.
They didn't fill them?
They didn't stuff them.
I have the barber shop and I have Billy's Wings eggs in my car.
I have,
The hospital's gonna do eggs too, I believe.
okay, and I have about 5 people who have committed to doing them, but at this point, all I have is Beaver Insurance and Parker Ford Motor Company. The Elks will be donating too, because they've got their big baskets and stuff out. And then Dignity, I think Dignity was gonna
Whatever you-
donate the larger eggs.
Yeah, you
make
tell
up-
me what you need,
Okay,
because
Steve,
I've seen
can,
something on here about giant eggs, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, I kind of, when we had talked before about stuff, that's what I put on here is potential stuff that we would need to actually.
Do we still have
pay
the
for.
giant eggs from last year?
that's one thing. Steve, I know everything was boxed up in boxes and crates that I had at the end. I stayed and made sure it was all boxed up. Can I get together with somebody at Public Works, maybe one day next week, and just kind of go through what we have and what we need?
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll go through and I don't know if one of you guys want to meet me, that's fine. We could just go through what we have and that way we'll kind of know what we need. I know last year, the problem with the jumbo eggs is the parents always walk off with them. That's the problem. It's a beautiful photo booth area with lots of toys and stuff there. And every year, you know, someone has donated a lot of the things for that area. And other organizations have done, and Dignity's been so good about buying the giant eggs, and for whatever reason, regardless, every year, they just walk off.
So do you want me to purchase something else?
Can I go through the stuff first? Is
Yes.
that okay?
Yep.
All right. So, and then, Corey, because I know you probably don't know, generally we do like a cross. And so it's 3 age groups up to 12. And then 1 corner is just like for under 2, where you can just do photo ops.
What are we talking about?
For the Easter egg?
For the Easter egg
So it's like
extravaganza.
toddlers, and then it's like,
Easter
what,
egg.
2 to 5?
I think yeah,
to
it's 2 to 5, because it's under 2, then 2 to
6
5,
to-
6 to 8, and then 9 to 12.
They put eggs in each of these. And then people stand on the outside like that to keep people from not coming to the eggs until they say go.
S Club normally helps, are they gonna be there?
I
But
didn't talk to
Every
S
year,
Club.
it's been
Can
real
you
small.
check on that?
Yes, what do you need them
Almost
to do?
real small for the age
Well,
groups,
we
and
would
so they're
like them
talking
to
about maybe
just,
shortening
normally they sit on the floor, well, when we talked
kinda
last time, we
making
talked
their
about them
sides a
sitting
little
on the
bit
floor and
bigger.
coloring, remember? coloring
Small,
chalk with the
the baseball
kids and coloring color books with
So
the
kind
kids.
of tie in with what Optimus is doing.
Exactly, and then I normally steal some of them to help protect the eggs.
Okay.
And to hide eggs, because there's so many for us to dump everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait, are we expanding the,
Yes, it's gonna be much bigger.
or is it gonna be in the same location but just bigger?
What we talked about doing was moving the food booths out of the way, resituating the bouncers a little bit, and then having it in the same area, so it's still kind of central focus, but just a whole lot bigger.
Yeah, definitely needs to be.
I reached out to the La Paz County Sheriff's about the Copsicle and I never heard back.
Okay, I'll reach out again. I'll get a hold
But
of
if
Kate.
the senior center is doing the popsicles,
more
then
than to do- See, last year, that's not what they did. Last year, they did burlap sack races and spoon on an egg race. They set up two, like, traditional picnic-y type of games. And they had the kids racing with this plastic spoon on an egg, and then they had burlap sack races. That's what they did last year. So I'll reach out to, Kate Moss,
okay.
and I'll see.
I emailed Deputy Lieutenant,
Deputy Gray.
somebody.
Yeah, he's not very good at responding.
And then I also reached out to the FFA and they are gonna be there for the petting zoo.
And
Absolutely,
River
thank you.
Septic is going to donate the hand washing station. They just need to know, because they will have to set it out Friday, not Saturday morning, so they'll need to know where to put the hand washing station.
Near the big tree.
Are you
on
okay
the-
with that?
I'm fine
corner.
with it. It's just,
Who did you talk, who did you reach out to at the sheriff's
we haven't
station?
had good luck with,
Deputy Gray.
items
think it's,
being
Thunder
rented from
Pots.
River Septic.
Isn't it Cyril?
Not rented,
That does
donated.
the popsicles?
I know, I'm just saying in general,
Cyril's
Oh,
in
yeah.
charge of the jail.
we've had two burned down, so.
Two burned down what?
We've had a porta potty burned down at my street.
He's just saying
street project
maybe not
recently.
put it out Friday
Yeah,
and
and
put it
then-
out
Yeah, she
Saturday.
said they don't work on Saturday, so I don't know if it's small enough to where
They're pretty small. but-
somebody
Where do we want to put it? Where are you guys planning to put it?
next to the petting zoo.
The petting zoo last year was at the corner of Chimawavy and Agency, right under that big tree right there. It was right at the corner, like across from the like right by the gas station right there.
Right.
And then you would normally wrap the tractors right there in the road. Can you help with that, Kaylee, a little bit?
How? Like,
Getting some tractors.
Oh, I got.
oh,
so
tractors?
I did talk to Nick, and he's got his antique tractor that he will bring.
Okay, so we've got,
One. That's the only person I know that's got.
I can reach out to David and Stacy,
No,
see
yeah.
if they
They have any.
might wanna donate
all,
something.
all we really need them to do is just bring up a tractor. Generally, we have an adult over there to kind of monitor the tractors to keep the kids off of them. And then the Historical Society always donates the big stand-up things that talk about the history of farming in the valley. So if you can, and then just touch base with me to let me know if you can. And then I'm gonna make my way down to Ehrenberg, because last year, RDI said they would bring up 4 or 5 of their brand-new tractors,
Well, Bingham
and
might
then
do
they,
that.
and they
Bingham
never
does that.
showed up.
Bingham does that at the fair. Bingham's took,
I was gonna say there was,
they're huge, they're big, they displayed them. So I did reach out to Vince just, about the, hay rides.
I dropped off a letter,
Okay.
because he
perfect,
needed a
'cause-
letter, so
yeah.
he has a letter.
So might ask him about that too, because they hauled them all out to the fair. And
Okay.
it's right down the street, it would.
And I know we have not, to date, we've not heard back from Vince about whether or not the hay rides would go. So I was told that he had to clear it through insurance at a corporate level. Okay, so, with that being said, really what we need is for us to come together and kind of push, we need game booths and we need eggs. That's it. Kind of the same
are we
for-
gonna have our, pop-up out there and,
I won't be there, so if somebody wants to man it. So I did the library thing, and I honestly was like, oh, I'm doing this. I had the Kaylee's little Connect 4. Let me tell you, and she can attest, it was a huge hit. The kids loved it. They were playing each other. There was a champion and this and that. So one of the things that I had suggested, we do get invited to a lot of different things that they're just like, we just want to do a booth. We've got our pop-up. I put on for the general on the second page, like a Parks and Rec tablecloth, because that was one of the things. I was there as Parks and Rec, but I didn't have a shirt. I didn't have nobody knew what I was. Like, they're, what are you doing here? You know, so if we have, because we have the big pop-up, and if we can get a tablecloth, we could do our own booth. And at the extravaganza, using the Connect 4 as the game that the kids play, the big ones, I found one on Amazon for $139.99 free shipping because I have Amazon Prime. But we could pass out flyers or information for our next event. So like I had really hoped to have some extravaganza flyers to pass out at the
That was
library
my
event.
fault. I fell short
Yes,
on
it's
that
okay.
one.
It's okay. But at this event, if one of us is available to do that game, that gives us another game for our event, but it
School event.
also gives, we can pass out flyers for our next event. So I did put the Connect Four on the expenses for this because this would be the first event we would use it at. But I put the tablecloths, and I know we had talked about just shirts for the Parks and Rec, not Easter extravaganza, just generic shirts that we could wear to any event that we went to. I don't know, I reached out to Susan because I know she can make something fun, a lot more colorful. And then I did ask her and she said if Town of Parker would allow us and give us a copy of this, the image, she could put this on the back.
So the last time that the park.
She has it? Okay, well, I didn't know if I was allowed to use it without getting the okay. Yeah, for Parks and Rec, yeah, so.
The last time we got shirts, Daniel and I both have them. Steve took care of that and he ordered them through where the town orders their shirts. And
Which one's
it's the blue golf shirt on the back. It says, it has the Town of Park, you ordered them, remember, and it says something about, promoting the parks, building community. Something about healthy living and through promoting our parks and, building community. Can't remember.
Does the Parks and Recreation Committee have an adopted, like,
No.
mission statement?
No.
Maybe we should add that to the next agenda, and then that's something
Something
you
we could put
in
on there,
marketing
yeah.
materials
And stuff like
and all
that,
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
Because like I said, I went to the event, but nobody knew that I was there because nothing,
The only shirts we have are back to school.
back to
and-
school, I had a back to
Yeah,
school
we
one and
had
I
the
had the Easter extravaganza and I almost wore the Easter extravaganza one because that was our next event, but then people would be looking at me like, what are you doing? This is not right, so.
I wear that shirt all the time.
So,
Yeah, I wear my Grinch one all the time. I love that one.
I just will start with Taylor for a couple things, I don't wanna forget, but on Kylene's point, anytime that the chamber is at an event, we always bring flyers of upcoming events. But I can tell you that one we did not because it's supposed to be windy and
It
I
was
said,
supposed to-
I'm not
yeah.
chasing flyers all day. And then they ended up moving us inside anyway, so I could have. But generally, we do have that, so I just wanted to say that.
yeah,
But Taylor did ask for me to let you know, she will be in attendance, so she will take the chalk and the crayons there, and she can take them back when they're done. But she just wants to actually take her kid on the egg hunt, so she'll be there, but just not hanging out there.
yeah.
And then she wanted me to let you know eggs. I know you guys had talked about it, but the only eggs we have that have been dropped off at the chamber are ours own from the chamber. And the ones that you guys said did not get stuffed, we'll stuff them. If you wanna bring them.
No biggie. I've gotta go get candy anyways for.
Just bring us the candy and all that. We'll just sit in our conference room and stuff them. It's fine if you wanna do that. So, because we did have like, same thing, we had 50 eggs or something, and we had those little Tootsie Rolls, so we just stuffed them in there. But that's really all that we have, and then we ordered some, so we haven't gotten as many eggs as we generally get donated.
I know, and I have
So-
not had feedback the way that I normally have feedback either. Can you maybe do another round of email out through chamber?
Is
Yeah,
there like
and
a,
so She was just gonna say too, she asked me to ask the town if they can do another one. And yes, why focus, because I think like the main focus is on participating, but we also need eggs donated. So she just wanted me to remind you guys to try to push that, because normally we have that spare room.
Full.
pretty full already.
Yeah,
And
because
literally
the
it's-
email tells about it, so maybe a second email that says something like boo, you know,
We need
we
eggs.
need eggs, and if you wanna do a booth, cause that's kind of what I do when I share it, like, hey, contact us if you wanna do a booth, but I didn't even think about the donation for
So
the eggs.
I reposted again today to
Mhm.
Facebook the event,
That's
and I
okay.
said we need participants and eggs and to call us. So if everybody could like and share that, that would be very helpful. What color is your guys' pop-up? Is it a dark blue?
Blue, yeah.
or is it navy or royal
I
blue?
didn't see it, cause I wasn't.
If
I'm gonna say it's royal.
If
I think
it's
it's royal blue.
It's dark, because I thought it was black.
Yeah, okay, I thought it was dark too.
It's dark.
I have 3 Town of Parker tablecloths,
Mhm.
6-foot tablecloths. So we can see if one of those, I only use them probably twice a year.
Yeah.
so,
It's a royal blue.
Is it royal blue?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, they should be okay, they shouldn't clash too
there you go.
much.
Nice.
So I'll bring that for you guys so you have it.
Yeah. Does anybody know where that pop-up is? Did we find it?
I thought you had it at the event.
No, I
We
didn't have
lost
it at
the
the
pop-up?
event. Well, because I had reached out to you and you were gonna reach out to Scott, but I never
I
heard from
did.
Scott.
I did reach out to
But
Scott.
it was not, the girls told me your girls had told me that it was not at the, Pop Harvey Park and it's not at the Western Park concession.
Just used it at the color run, right?
Yes.
Yes, at the color run, it was put on the trailer with the two gentlemen that had the trailer that were
Yeah,
coming
I'm
through
sure
and
it's
picking
back
up
at the
stuff.
yard.
It's
Back at the
probably in
yard,
the
okay.
yard.
Shed.
And that's what I expressed, is it probably went to the yard.
To the yard.
So
but
that's
just
why I
never
went ahead and
heard.
contacted Scott. So you didn't hear from Scott? Okay.
Jen,
I'll follow up with Scott.
Just so we know, because that way, if we need to
Yes.
use it.
the library also has a Giant Connect 4, so you guys might wanna maybe look at another Giant game, so there's a little variety, just
That's a-
FYI.
Yeah,
They
that's a
have one
great,
already,
that's a
so.
great idea, because,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
What about like
So that would-
giant Jenga or?
Jenga
yeah,
or-
that's a fun game too. Yeah, I mean, and then, okay.
Is there
perfect.
like a business list that we can like divvy out between all of us to go hit up those businesses for eggs? Is there something that we can?
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
have,
so I keep a spreadsheet of all the past participants for events and all of their contact information, so if it, I haven't done that for Easter extravaganza in the past, but I've done it for, trunk or treat. So I have a pretty, like 48 people on the list, so if you guys want that, I'll send it on over and maybe just give them a call or email. and see
Okay.
what they want.
That way we don't hit up the same businesses, you know?
yeah,
And I generally did keep a list, just so you guys know, whoever gets a list of whoever donates, it's nice to keep a list. We did it at the chamber, and then I normally gave it to Jennifer at the Easter, and she gave it to DJ Fabian, just so he could constantly
right.
thank them
Thank
too,
them.
so.
And then in the past,
so
I've,
for those.
I've done where I go over to Walmart and print like a little postcard that has a picture from the event with a thank you note on it for them.
What about food vendors?
I know I have DJ's Truckin' Good. So they will be there, cause she's gonna do like the cheap little chicken nugget, but she does, and then she throws an Easter egg in for each of the kids.
Yeah.
So she, I know, is going to be there for Positive, and then, I had Sweet Breeze Concessions and Ricky King, but Ricky King didn't show up for the basketball one, so I don't know what's going on with her. So I'm waiting for her to get back with, so I think we don't really want more than 2 or 3.
Yeah, so
So-
did anybody reach out to Tiara? They're usually really good about,
Tiara,
because they came to the,
no, I know,
yeah,
and I've reached out to
Okay.
Javier.
okay.
But before you move on, one more thing that Taylor said.
And I reached out to your arenas too.
We don't
and
have
to
the
Charapo.
Easter banner at all. I know you
Yeah,
thought we
where are
had
they?
it,
Cause
and
I
we
haven't
don't
seen
have
them up. So where,
It's on my to-do list.
okay,
So we don't have one up, because she did ask me to hang it up, and I told her after downtown I would, and we don't have one.
yeah, I know, cause we talked about you just keeping the one that stays,
Yeah, we'll just
There.
keep it going forward.
yeah, keep there,
but we
just keep
didn't
it going
last year,
forward.
So,
Okay, can we get those up, please?
If I can find them,
Okay,
absolutely.
if not, we'll need to know, cause we'll need to get some. All right, so so the T-shirts, the tablecloths, we've got that covered, cause we already have 2 for the town of Parker, we can use them from the town. The
Yes.
the PNR shirts. At the next meeting, we're gonna make sure it's on the agenda to discuss a mission statement, so everybody go home, rack that through your brain, look up some other parks committees and what theirs is, so you have some ideas from what other parks
I want
committees
to say
have.
that we actually might have one. I'll have to do some digging.
Can you look?
And that might be something cute to put on the back, but I mean, as much as everybody, I mean,
I can
nobody,
send you a picture of the one that we have.
yeah, the one, I mean, nobody likes polos with,
I was about to say, if it's polos, I don't want one.
yeah.
I'm
like,
not
I
gonna,
mean,
I don't
we're
wear
not-
polos,
We're
I'm
gonna be
sorry.
at outdoor events. I'm looking at Dignity over there thinking, oh, and poor Corey over there and his, you know. Like, I feel like Parks and Rec is more of a fun. We're at outdoor fun stuff, and polos are hot and they're uncomfortable, so,
We're fun.
we're fun.
No,
Dignity is
we're
fun.
fun.
I know.
That's right.
Yes. But,
Get that on the record.
and like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be Susan. I just think something fun
Just a
that
t-shirt,
says
not a
like,
polo shirt.
this
is
little
what
boy
like
corner,
a
the little
T-shirt
boy
that just
corner.
says, "Yeah, see, look at yours, like yours." That's fun.
Well, this is a polo.
It's a
Yeah,
polo.
I know. I'm kidding. It's not fun.
I'm saying, If it's a polo, I don't want one. I will not wear it.
So do you only order polos through how you order, or is there an availability to order something else?
We can order whatever we want.
Okay.
It's,
All right.
Daniel's like, I know.
Okay, so,
Down next year.
if we can get that on the agenda for the
It's
next.
for imprint. You can get pretty much anything.
Anything? Okay, I just,
So the difference between, we've been really, really happy with Susan's shirts. We have their V-neck t-shirts to wear on Fridays, screen printed.
Thursdays?
Thursdays, yes. The ones we get from For Imprint, they're embroidered and they're much more expensive. And I don't know if they do a combination of embroidery and screen printing,
yeah,
so I can look into that.
yeah.
So if you're already using Susan, should we just continue, then we should just continue, whoever you're already using.
That's
Yeah,
pretty much
okay.
what we're using.
All right, so
Okay.
we'll need to decide a color and then a mission statement. So
Susan's a local person doing the shirts now?
Yeah, and I
because it
feel
gives
like,
someone your local.
yeah, exactly. And she can create whatever we want. So I feel like if we have the town of Parker on the back with the mission statement on the back, but a fun, something that just says Parks and Rec Committee in the front, town of Parker in the back, probably not white, because white is
Hard to keep clean.
hard to keep clean.
Okay, so Connect Four Library, jumbo eggs, they're already gonna be
Covered.
donated.
Mm-hmm.
Decorations,
Tablecloths, I didn't know
I
what.
bought them every year. I'll buy them this year.
Usually, I know we just for the hospital, but I thought for like if they do a little game, don't we ask them to give out like a little prize or something?
No,
So
we never have in the past.
oh, we
If
don't. So they don't have to.
Nope, if
Oh,
they want
okay.
to, they can. If they don't want to, then they can just do it for the fun of having a game.
Just to have a fun
and
of a little game.
just being
Okay.
a part of the
Because I know the
community.
hospital, I was telling her like you have to get a prize.
What about
You're
like a
supposed to give
jumbo
out prizes.
Plinko board?
Well, that's
Oh,
fun.
that would be fun. That you could win a prize at the end of every single thing, like little stuff.
There's one for $100 on Amazon. It's not super, super giant, but it's,
Yeah. I'll look at jumbo games. I just loved the Connect Four because it was fun. And whenever you turned it, it made a huge noise and it was just fun. I didn't know that the library had one. And we will probably be doing the same events as the library, so good call.
Okay.
Catch on that, Amy. Thank you.
So the bounce houses, we'll see if we, to save $500, we'll see if we can get that money donated.
Yes.
And then the hoop shoot game, that's, you're gonna go back and get some jumbo games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what we had thought about too, and what I had just thought is we can't use the basketball hoop for the tricycles. So if we wanted to do something that actually utilized the basketballs. So the price that I'm saying on here is the $20. I went on Amazon, you can get basketball for $20. If we
But
bought,
we have a whole bunch of
have-
them. We have a whole
do we
bunch
have
of
a whole
them.
bunch of them? Okay, I wasn't sure. Maybe make a 3-point contest. Do eggs at different places and say,
Corey, you wanna be in charge of that?
Not really.
Okay. Corey, would you like to be in charge of that?
I knew it was coming. Yes, I could do that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I could do the basket.
Okay.
and it utilizes the basketball hoops for basketball. So
Okay.
I'll help you.
I wasn't
But
sure
my-
if they
okay,
had.
You have little ones. You need to be with your
Well,
little ones at the egg
Yeah,
hunt.
this
You
is
just-
a wild month for me right now, so
He
I'll
has
be
a
a little
baby on
busy.
the way.
And you have little ones where you need to be at the egg hunt and enjoying your little ones.
Well, I mean, I plan to participate.
No, I
I just
mean
don't know
Kaylee.
about
Oh.
fully tackling. Oh, tackling.
Oh, me.
Are you good with
No,
that?
it's fine. I could do that. I could do
Okay.
the basketball one.
All right. And Carissa, you're always good about just being there and helping keeping kids out of the eggs, so I really just,
That and then I think last year I did the Easter Bunny pictures.
yes.
I helped
And
with
Tammy
that.
has already arranged for that, so
So-
we've got that. And I did reach out to Rose Acres to see if we could get the chicken here too.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever you need me to do, I'm there.
Okay. Yes, Glory?
So the bouncy house, going back to the bouncy house situation. Every time that we have a bouncy house, there's kids in there crying. So are we getting a club to man the bouncy house situation? Are we
Are we gonna be able
Just
to get the police explorers there?
expecting the parents to do it? Because the parents aren't doing it.
Parents don't do it.
So
What are
kids
they
are
crying about?
trampled and because they're getting trampled.
Yeah, it's bad.
All the police explorers.
And there's like 50 kids in there when there
Yeah,
should
we
be a
need to have
max of
somebody, and
10.
also because if it's the obstacle course, they go this way. They never come out.
Yeah,
they just
they're
keep
back
going.
and forth
So
hanging
you need
out.
somebody saying, okay, in, out, go around,
Yeah, we
in,
need-
out, going
If we
around.
could get like a club to man that situation, that would be great. Because Last bouncy house,
Can
I had
we
to
get
get
the
in
police
there and I had to
explorers
get
to
my
do that?
nephew out of there and it was bad.
Yeah, I emailed Chief twice last month and I haven't received a
Ye-
response back.
Yeah, I
yet,
cornered
so-
him the other day at something we were at together.
Yeah, so I'll follow up again. with that.
Okay, and then we'll assign one police explorer to each of those houses.
He needs more like 3 people on that.
Two to each, well, if we get that many, there
Yeah.
might not be that many explorers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And then what we could do is assign one S-girl and one,
Yeah,
and
I
one police
texted
explorer.
Lily.
And because we are gonna need the people at the eggs too, which is, so I'll follow up with Miranda and see if maybe Miranda and Courtney can bring out their teen challenge kids too.
The Teen Solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that,
Solutions.
so far,
That
who has
bouncy house
said yes, they're
situation
gonna have a game booth
sometimes
there?
is crazy.
Who, so far, who has said yes, they are having a game booth?
Is the library gonna be there? Can you follow up with Phoenix? Okay. So the only game booths that I know of so far, Christchurch on the River, right? The Elks Lodge. The community center's doing popsicles in the thing.
The hospital,
And the hospital,
And Regional Center
and Regional Center
for Border Health.
for Border Health.
that's it?
And us,
That's
And
it.
then the
Yeah.
Connect Four or the whatever.
giant something or.
Whatever we,
basketball.
oh, and then we'll have one with the game.
Have two
basketball.
technically.
There's a coloring thing going on, right?
That's the Optimist,
That's
that's
the
under the
Optimist.
thing.
And the chalk thing.
And there's the
yeah.
pictures.
But I'm
of
just thinking
East
like the
Radiation.
library, the PACE, people that are always in EWS, they're just donating, they're not gonna come and have a booth.
WS is donating the coloring books to, I don't know if they're actually handing them out or if we
I
need,
usually just put them on the tables and let the kids take them.
we can ask Royalty, the new Royalty
Yeah.
girls.
Oh, true.
There's always a very big
VFW.
push the last 4 or 5 days of the
Yeah.
year.
There is.
They're always scrambling in the
Parker
beginning and then
Parker
boom.
Sort of like the
Boat Call.
Veterans Day.
Sorry. Parker
And the
Boco
trunk
was
or
one
treat.
that, I don't know
And
that
everything
they've
else.
called you, but they did, when I dropped off the flyer, they said they would do something. So either what, I don't know what they're gonna do, they just said something. whenever I
Walmart,
dropped
last
over
year
the
was Walmart was there.
Walmart
I was
did
trying
the
to think of
cookies.
I
last year.
talked to Walmart and I need to get a letter over to them, I just have not,
There's Phoenix
Done
right
it.
there.
Phoenix!
Phoenix.
I have not done that yet.
She's all running away.
She really is running away.
She thinks somebody's calling her.
Okay, so, all right, is there anything,
Ask the VFW up River, did they call you?
yes, they just wanna make sure I knew they were doing eggs.
Okay.
And last year they did where they hid those golden tickets, they're not gonna do that this year. Phoenix, is the library gonna help participate in the extravaganza and have a game?
I don't know yet. I'm still
Okay.
waiting to hear if anybody's available that weekend on staff.
Okay.
But I will touch base with you. I have your flyer on my desk.
If not, can we borrow your Connect Four?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Connect Four will be there, and we won't worry about,
Jenga.
Oh, there we go, that takes care of that.
are those on? Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Because that's what,
We have a bunch of giant games. We have giant checkers, giant chess, all that jazz.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
yeah, okay, so if you guys don't come, let us know and we'll take the Connect Four.
Or if you do come, we'll
Or
still
if you
take
don't
one of
come-
those.
We'll
If
still
you do
take
come,
it.
we'll take another big game.
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And then we have the petting zoo that's gonna be set up too. Okay.
So it's enough, you think, then? We're good?
I think we still should be pushing for games.
Games, but definitely
And
pushing for eggs.
Definitely eggs, because last year we had so many eggs, we had to get rid of them. We took them over to Pace afterwards. And Fabian will not be able to be there, so Pace is planning on coming as the DJ.
Oh, okay.
All right, so anything else for the extravaganza? Amy? Okay, so coloring sheets from you. Gloria basketball, anything else?
Just, are they signing up with the town or signing up with the chamber? Signing up with the town, right?
There's that-
Okay,
Yeah, because the VFW up River called me and I told them to call.
okay.
Yep, so, and then all the flyers have Amy's name and phone number at the town.
They can donate the eggs at the town, though. We have that, or at the chamber, we have one of those. drop-off.
Okay.
Just, the only thing is by noon on Thursday, because Thursday afternoon, I've got to come get them. So
And
by noon
if
on
not,
Thursday.
just have them yourself and bring them.
Yeah,
Bring them to the event.
Amy, on the ones that you pass out to the school, do you put the information on the back of the coloring
So
thing?
we're gonna do the flyer,
And then on the back, but then on the other ones, you leave them blank, right?
Yeah, just the
Because
regular.
that's where I have them write their
so
name and.
always before, the basic information was just on the front.
Yeah.
With the coloring picture, but it'll be a little different this year.
That'll be awesome, that's perfect.
Okay. Anything else? Anything, Kaylee?
No, I have a question about benches at Western Park that's not related to that.
Okay. Corey? Corey, are you gonna be there?
I'm gonna try.
Okay. Daniel?
Do my best.
I know.
Got
Do you have any comments or questions? You've been there a lot of times, so do you have?
no, I mean, I'll just let everybody know I'm dealing with some health issues with my father-in-law right now, so it's been kind of keeping me distracted and stuff. So I'll do my best though.
Okay. Melissa, any other comments?
No, but I will offer my services for, not this time because it's 2 weeks away, but next year, if you want me to paint, just like I repaired those bunnies that used to be at Gingerbread that you guys are using now for decoration, I'll make big wooden eggs and paint them and on like stakes. That way you don't have to worry about plastic ones being taken off.
I bought a 10-foot by 5-foot Happy Easter Bunny egg thing to set out there. So inflatable. I also got a 12-foot gingerbread blow up for Gingerbread Man for the Christmas one.
But I'm just saying, if you want
It's
me to do
12
that,
foot tall.
Yeah.
It's huge.
For next year, that
Yeah.
way we can,
you don't have to keep buying.
Right.
the
Yeah.
plastic ones.
and that's kind of why I put on here decorations, because I know the decorations that we had last year had been used and used and used, so I didn't know.
Actually, last year, no. Almost
Those
all of
ones
them
that
were
were
bought
fresh.
new.
Because I remember getting
Last
that
year,
on
almost
big
all of
tin.
them were bought new because
break.
almost
I
all
was
of
gonna
them
say,
have
every time you feed them,
disappeared.
they would break.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
usually like a one-time thing because they're made from.
But if we did something like that,
We
Yeah,
could
because like the
definitely-
bunnies, I mean, I literally told Jerry that I would donate them to you guys and you guys have them if you let me paint them all over again. So I repainted them and made them look nice. Right now they're on the bench, but you could easily put one in the little kitty section as well too on a stake. But I'll make bigger wooden ones if you want.
That'd be
on
perfect.
stake. Again, not for this year though.
Actually,
I
we
love
bought it.
doing crafty stuff. So
We
if you
couldn't
ever
even
wanna
find
hit
the
me up,
windmills, like the
just give me time.
windmills last year, so I had to go buy all them again.
okay,
Um,
just heard from Vince. Vince said he will be there. He's got everything we need. We just need to have the section closed off again, the whole side. He said the way that you did it last year was perfect.
Say
Bingham,
that again?
Bingham, the hay rice.
Oh,
Vince from
yes.
Bingham, he
It'll
said
be
they're
the-
in,
it'll
they'll
the
be
same.
there. And if you could do it that way, that would work, so.
And for the tractor display, we're gonna have somebody there, like, stay off the tractors, or,
Generally,
Closure, right?
Daniel is good about doing that, and if Daniel will not be there, then I'll have Perry do it.
okay.
No, no.
So we have someone that walks around and keeps them off the tractors, yes.
Send it to you.
Cause that's like,
That's a big
some of
deal.
these people are like,
Like,
I don't think so,
Yeah,
but
I was
if I
thinking
have,
that same
Why don't
thing
we-
though
why
for,
don't we just, do we
It was
have
the week
enough
that you were out.
barricade, not to barricade, but enough to run something to just like make it, like, you know, when you go to look at a car, they have the.
I know
we
what you're
can't
talking
pass
about.
this.
not touch
I think they do most of the snow fence, just.
Stay
to
off.
keep
A lot
snow
going
fence
on,
behind
lady. I
the music
totally
tent.
get it.
For the egg hunt,
We
yeah.
need to actually order more this year for that.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a lot, so we need to keep
Don't worry about it.
moving.
Okay.
So if you, anything else for extravaganza? Okay. Fiscal year budget for Park Cemetery Advisory Board events. Any comments on that? Any thoughts behind that?
My whole thought was, I know we need to do a budget, but from everything that I don't know how to say this without, like, really the only event that we've been, that we need money for, so I don't know how to create that, if that makes sense. Because every time I say, oh, look, we need this, then everybody's like, no, we don't need that, no, we don't need that, no, we don't need that. So I'm like, okay. But eventually we will. Like, we don't have to pay for bounce houses this year because he wants cash, but if he didn't and he wanted 500, we would have a budget for it.
Right.
So do you want to create a budget, say, seeing potential things that we may need? The Color Run is the only one that I know that we're going to need to spend money on. But there's also more that we could do. Like, luckily, we do have a lot of great businesses that donate stuff, but, you know, bounce houses is something we're always gonna have to pay for. So if we, you know, we can figure in $500 an event just for bounce houses. You know, the other stuff, so I don't know how you want us to try to create that.
Steve, what is your recommendation on that? Because you go before the board every year with the budget.
Well, if you recall, you guys were wondering why there's so much push to get donations. And so obviously, if you don't want to go out and continue to solicit for donations for these events, then yes, you need to put together a budget
And do that.
and have all that budgeted. Regardless if it's used or not, it's
Yeah.
still gonna be budgeted.
Budgeted for it?
And
Okay.
we'll have money in the budget to do these things. So it depends on the direction that this committee wants to go in it, into.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of where some of us don't.
Do we need to buy pre-filled eggs?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's something that we can put in the budget.
Correct.
So that we're not knocking on doors and we're not,
Correct.
and because we all have full-time jobs, every single one of us. And yeah, it's one thing to pass out flyers, but it's another thing to take a whole day to go around to 10 businesses and ask for donations, you know? So where if it's something, so we're not stressing, we can put it in the budget that we have $300 to spend on eggs every year and we don't have to worry about it.
I mean, clearly, the town council is obviously supporting this committee, and you guys are an
Yeah.
advisory committee for the council. We don't have the council member here today, but she'll be one to obviously speak up for the work that you do putting on these events.
And
yes,
like the basketballs, we don't need to
a lot
buy.
of time from the committee, but that's why you volunteered to be on this committee, is for those specific reasons, because you are all want to be involved in these community and town-related events.
Yeah.
But if you want to move in that direction, yes, I would create just a rough budget
Okay.
of what you think would be needed for each of the events that you guys do for the year. They don't have to be earmarked, trunk or treat, eggs extravaganza, Christmas in the park. They don't have to be earmarked specifically for those. Obviously, the way the budget is now, it's just 12,500 was budgeted because we are figuring the whole budget out. But it's something that obviously you guys have brought up and you guys are concerned with, continuing to ask for these donations.
Yeah.
So it's up to this committee to go in that direction or not.
Yeah, and that's where I was starting to say, I feel like it's been so long and people have been knocking on doors and with the businesses that it just kind of is the norm where we could step back and just be like, if you want to donate, then donate. If you don't,
Or if it's been budgeted for and we've got not enough,
Mhm.
we just have already spent it, so you order it. I mean, we're 2 weeks away.
yeah,
So, I mean, if we waited till a week away and then had to,
yeah.
Amazon Prime, 1,000 eggs, then it's already budgeted.
Budgeted. And we can just do it, yeah.
We'll still ask, but in the lieu of not getting it, it's already.
Not
been-
ever have too many eggs. The kids will pick up all of the eggs.
We had too many, no, we had too many eggs last year.
Or, baskets. A lot of kids show up with
That
no
was the one
baskets.
thing that we talked about last
Didn't we
year.
have
We
that
had the
last year?
bags.
We had
Baskets
that
were donated.
Discussion last year about getting bags, yeah.
We had them last year.
Did we use the police,
No, what
There was
had
a ton of
happened was
Parker
I
bags.
had ordered a bunch for, when we went to League of Cities and Towns, it was
Mhm.
for our booth, and we had 1,000 of them left over.
do we have any left over?
No, we gave
Give
them
them
all.
all.
See, and what if we just did those cheap baskets? Those
Yeah, those little bags.
Because, it's Easter, and everybody wants to carry their stuff in a bag. It's not Halloween, you know?
Yeah.
So we could, those little wicker ones, sometimes you can get them for like 25 cents at the dollar store. So if you look on Oriental Trading, I'm sure that we could find them somewhere for the kids that didn't bring a basket.
Okay.
Or it's like first
First come, first serve,
50 kids get a basket
Yeah.
type
Or
of deal
50 kids that
because
didn't bring a basket, bring a basket.
Yeah.
You know, I have had 2 people come to me and ask, how can they help? Because they want to help. And that is when you guys say, when as a committee, we say, well, we'll just take care of it ourselves. Please recognize that you're also shortchanging and cheating the community, businesses, and out of giving back to their community.
I don't mean that at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if they come, absolutely. If they want to help, and if we put it on Facebook that
Right.
people want to have a booth, then absolutely. But when we get to the point, like Daniel says, and we're 2 weeks out,
Yeah, we
and
can't.
we should just at this point take it upon ourselves to just buy them.
We can't rely, like, yes, I understand
Yeah,
what
I
you're saying,
see it too.
Jennifer, but we
Yeah,
can't
if they
rely
wanna-
on the businesses. We're the committee. We have to get it done
So-
ourselves.
Yeah.
So at this point, we already have over 1,500 eggs.
I thought we didn't have
I
enough
thought we
eggs,
didn't
like,
have
a
enough
little
We
bit.
already have over 1,500 eggs at this point. Because you have 2 sets of 250, I have 2 sets of 250 at my office. So that's 1,000 right there. And then you've got 250,
Plus
Right?
whatever
plus the hospital's donation.
Okay.
So
well,
we
you-
have over 1,500 eggs right now.
Okay.
How many eggs do we normally
Plus
get?
Melissa has another 250 over
Yeah, but
there.
I thought we just said that there wasn't enough eggs.
Yeah, you said we were gonna print the lists of the businesses and ask businesses for eggs.
Be out the
To divvy out the
businesses?
businesses to ask them for eggs.
So
Do we not need to do that?
okay, but then on the same token, we said you never have enough eggs. So generally, what we get, we have, and that's what we set out, is what we've pretty much done in the past.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but this is just to put it in the budget to have a just in case is basically what we're
And that's
talking
what Steve
about,
said,
right?
like, that way we're not stressing. We
And
don't-
that's a great idea.
Okay.
And it's a great idea.
I would say if
So
we
you
have
need
it
to
figured.
consider the events, you need to consider the summer recreation program, and obviously what you want to plan for the summer rec program, so all this needs to go into your thinking.
Okay.
So my expectation would be at the next meeting that we have, you have a budget for us.
I will make sure that that is.
We're in the budget planning process right now, and the sooner we get this information from this committee, the better. That way we can not be crunched with figuring out what you guys want to do and what you guys want to
Right.
potentially budget. And remember, it just doesn't mean, I don't have any say-so in the budget process, just so everyone knows here, just so we're all clear. I put together my budget, it goes to council, council approves the budget. They have the ability to strike anything that I propose, okay? Just like with any other department head, that's the way it works. So we propose all this, they review the budget, they have the ability to say, no, Steve, we're not gonna do that, we're not gonna spend, $20,000 or put $20,000 in the budget for the Park and Rec Committee. We're gonna make it 15,000 or 10,000, whatever. So it's not me, but yes, a budget is needed.
Okay, so at this point, we have about 1,500 eggs. Typically, we have about 500 per section or more. I've seen us have up to about 750, and we've enlarged the egg hunt to accommodate more eggs.
No, we've
So-
enlarged the egg hunt to accommodate more space for the eggs because they were literally on top of each other. The kids were literally on top of each other last year. I thought we were accommodating the space so they can actually bend down and get them without
Bumping into
crashing
each other.
Each other.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I didn't assume we were gonna add 10,000 more eggs. I thought we were just
Adding more
making the
space.
space so
So
that they
last year,
can
we had
not get trampled.
Last year, we had way more than 500 eggs per square.
I suggest that you stick with 500 per square.
Yeah, like, I mean, they don't, and every kid doesn't need 30
So
eggs.
if we're gonna expand it this year, as far as the size of it,
Yeah.
that will, what Glory's speaking to, there won't be, sitting next to each other, there's more space available to space them out.
Yeah, because they were literally just on top of each other
Yes.
and the kids
You
were,
couldn't hardly even walk because there were so many eggs out there, and
Yeah.
essentially that's what happened.
yeah.
So having a wider area, but sticking with the same amount, then we'll know for sure, is 500 enough, is 500 not enough? I mean, if you're gonna have a total of 2,000 eggs total, that's a lot of eggs, folks.
Yeah.
So certainly that's more than the amount of kids that are participating in this.
So I would say at that point, then, we probably don't need to go out and ask anybody for eggs.
Okay.
Whatever comes in at this point, comes in.
Perfect.
And we divide it up.
Right.
But at this point, also recognize if somebody wants to come to a game,
They could do it.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
because we still have a whole
Yeah.
lot of room and area for games.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, Steve?
No.
Amy? Gloria? Carissa? Kylie?
I do have something.
Yes.
I was at Western Park with my family the other day, and there's no benches near the playground. I mean, I know there's benches at the baseball field, but there's nowhere to sit and
Watch your kids play.
watch your kids play. I don't mind sitting on the concrete barrier, but elderly people have a hard time getting down and getting back up. That's just my physical therapy brain working there. I really think we need to get a couple benches out there for elderly grandparents.
Great idea, it's already planned.
Perfect.
It's already in the planning for both parks.
Perfect.
In addition, I'm planning to install benches along the new basketball court. So those that want to take a break, with shades hopefully,
That'd be nice.
that they can
Team
take a
A,
break.
Team B.
Yeah.
while they're playing
Bench warmers?
basketball and get some shade. at there at the along the fence line at the basketball court, so.
Nice.
But yes, that's something that we've noted for quite some time. I believe that we have, I want to say 2 benches already. We just haven't gotten around to actually putting them in.
Cool.
So.
Okay, feasibility study.
Okay, so you have in front of you the draft of what the architecture team has put together. So,
Memorial Park, Western Park, or Pop Harvey, because there's 3 sets.
no. This is the feasibility.
Development plan.
Okay. So you've already been provided the first several pages at one of the previous committee meetings. What I want you to do is if you go down to the last 3 pages. Yeah, that one. This is Park Development Plan.
It says 7 on
7.
top, yeah.
Yeah, 7, Park Development Plan. So this is essentially the design as it stands. Starting at the far right corner of the picture is the skate park, followed by the basketball court, the tennis court, the playground area, the event lawn in that Ramada right there will be restroom / stage area is what's planned. Where you see the star, that's the splash pad. And then you have the ball fields with the concession and restrooms in the middle. Looks like the playground at the ball fields, they didn't adjust that, but the playground is supposed to be closer to the actual concession stand where it looks green right there right now, where it's
supposed to be
basically a
flipped.
grass area. Actually, it's supposed to be flip-flopped. So it says play up there. It's supposed to be the playground. And then we have the soccer / football field. So that squeezes in, as far as the baseball fields, all what we currently have, which is softball, 2 minor league baseball, and a majors baseball field. Yes.
Are they gonna put, and if they do, which side are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna put stands at the football field /
Yes.
soccer field?
So where those trees are.
On the right, like to back up against 100 Homes?
Yeah, so what we're
No,
gonna
the
be
other side?
along the, probably the side that's closest to the ball fields. But, I mean, it could be on both sides essentially.
Honestly,
Um,
just from years and years and years of experience, it would be great to have it on that side because when you play in the mornings, like
Sunrise
The
and
sun.
in your face.
when you play at Parker High, like we are in the sun constantly from the time, So if they were backed up against the concessions, it would put home in the shade.
Oh, I see.
If that makes sense to you. As a parent that has sat in those bleachers for a decade and a half now, it would be nice to not have to bring a pop-up to every single game.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the amount of space that's left
Yeah,
over once this
But
is
that's
done.
just some good input,
Yeah, but some of those details, obviously, we don't have yet. And so what I've talked about the architects in doing is, it will probably be not a fully raised up to the current level of the ball fields. I think they plan to actually have it sunk a little bit, but not quite as the current retention basin is. And actually create some seating just in the actual ground itself.
Yeah.
And then have an additional, bleachers.
Yeah, and it would also be nice because you could almost, if you see the walk around the whole field,
Correct.
if you could see, if you're walking and you're looking down, you could even still see onto
Correct.
the football field. That would
And
be
that's kind
really
of
cool.
the concept that we're
Yeah.
going with. So some of those details we don't necessarily have a part of this, but I will certainly provide that feedback back to the team. And then that far corner there is basically, that would be the new retention basin for 18th Street. 18th Street still needs to drain to a retention basin. So where the ball field / soccer field is, that will no longer be the retention basin. It'll be in that sand-colored area there. So that squeezes in everything and actually includes all of the required parking for the park. And we do have to follow parking guidelines, and so it meets our parking criteria with the way it's designed currently. Obviously, everyone knows that we have overflow parking at where the high school football field is and the other fields, so there's plenty of parking available for this park based off of this current plan.
I'm just curious, because one of the things, is there along the way, because it looks like that's like a fitness walking trail as well?
It's not necessarily a fitness walking trail, but it's something that we can certainly put in the future. So say we get this plan approved and we're starting, and we end up completing it just as it is right now. Yes, and we'll, on these next pages, you'll see some of the other details closer up. But all the kind of sand-colored areas is essentially crushed granite. So very user-friendly from a standpoint of patrons using the park, and then also maintenance as far as my staff being able to maintain. I don't want all this grass all over the place and all these things that we have to take care of because I don't have the staff to do so. So crushed granite and, plants and trees. The green belt where the event lawn is, yeah, that space would be a lawn that we would take care of. But, my goal would be to actually have all the fields in artificial turf to save on water, because we can go after grants to get this stuff done. But to limit my staff's, workload, because it's gonna take 2 full-time employees to actually maintain this park. And we don't currently have anything in the budget to even handle that right now, but, so that's kind of the direction that I gave them. But yes, to your point, the goal is in the future to have not only that ability to have a fitness equipment along the path, but also to have a wide enough path, a 5-foot path, smooth, concrete, so it can also be used for roller skating. You can ride your skateboard on it, those things. So that's the direction that all the paths here will take.
Very exciting.
Yeah, question?
Question on the Ramada and the plaza, is that like a raised, kind of like the town has? Like the stage with the Ramada over the top?
Yeah, it's similar to that, in which there will be a stage, and on the back, on one side it'll have the restrooms, on the other side it'll have the stage, and yes, it will be raised. So there'll be a more of a permanent space there to have events and a stage.
And
With a storage area for town staff and obviously the restrooms, but we're kind of playing with where we want the storage to be, either at the concession around the baseball field or at the other location, but that's the kind of the initial plan, yes.
Steve, with the above the event lawn, there's that 36 spaces right there. Where the property line draws through there, because above that on 17th, that's a privately owned lot. Does that concern at all, or? So you see that parking says like 36 or 38
Right.
spaces. So I know that everybody parks there in that dirt currently, but there's a triangle of dirt there that's privately owned that
Right.
nobody says anything and everybody parks there. But is that something we have to worry about becoming town property, or?
I'd have to look into that. I don't know whose property that might be, but that's all town property up to 50 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because there is a triangle on the assessor's website that shows it owned by somebody.
I will make note of that.
Okay. But I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Bravo.
And that'll end, so that's cutting 18th Street way back then, right, basically?
When you say cutting it back,
Well,
as
because
far as,
it goes all the
yes,
way, that little turnaround.
correct.
Right. I think that'd be amazing if that gets built.
Steve, I have a question about the Little League fields. You are looking to do these as, you said turf, right? Is there any possibility when, again, if we get to this point, that these potential fields would also be able to house just regular size, like softball events, to make like different plugs to where during Little League season, it could be used for, again, Little League, but after Little League season, again, if the town wants to create like a legit co-ed softball league or just a co-ed, or just softball games in general, that it could be used for that, because, I don't want to take away anything from, again, the fact that we need these fields for Little League purposes, but I'd also hate to take away the chance to put in some fields to where Parker could truly begin maybe housing, softball tournaments, because men league, co-ed leagues are really popular here in Parker and Havasu, but with the current conditions, there's no way we could ever, hold a tournament or, do anything of that nature. So again, with just the idea of us creating these fields, like, again, is there a possibility that we can maybe look to try to capture both things during Little League season, have these fields be Little League regulation, but also be sizable for, again, adult softball leagues?
You know what Kingman does is their fields are large enough for adults to play, and then they have like a fence that goes in, and a removable fence. Kingman, or not King,
Yeah, I've heard some fields do that. They have a,
Kingman, Havasu does
Havasu
that.
does that currently.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's certainly doable.
yeah, though, it's, tight,
We
but-
just need, obviously, when we get to that point, specifics as far as what dimensions you want your field for. So if the minor league base dimensions are the same as co-ed softball, I don't know.
I want to say they're close. I mean, outfield is relatively, I think, the same if we're truly going like a Little
Yeah, I
League
think
base
that
field and softball.
Biggest thing is, yeah, just getting us the information on what you want as far as base paths.
Yeah,
It certainly can be done to where you just basically put a mount in there and you put
Right.
the cap over the top of it, so you use it for your softball when you guys are having co-ed softball league or whatever. The biggest issue being the mound, so we'll do similar to what we are gonna be doing here, in which there's not gonna be a mound. You're
Right.
gonna have your portable mound when you roll it in for your Little League, and then when Little League is done, you guys take your mound out, and then it's available for co-ed softball.
I think though, the only field that would be regulated for adults is gonna be the big one, because I think the other one, the adults are gonna be smacking the ball right over the fence.
yeah, I'd have to
I don't know
double
if
check
there's like
true
a-
dimensions like
Yeah.
of the field in Havasu that, softball men's league uses and co-ed. But I want to say they're pretty close, like center field to home plate, I want to say is pretty close, I think, like a Little League field is, but.
Yeah, and so just having information on which field you want to do this on, absolutely.
Okay.
Um,
I just hate to
cer-
short the
Certainly
community.
want to make it so it's got more than one use,
Yeah.
and that's fine. We just obviously need to plan for it up front
Mhm.
and make those accommodations in the actual construction plans. Yeah, so anything's possible.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It
Awesome.
looks really good.
So if you flip to the other two pages following that overall, you'll see kind of a little more detail in some of the sections that they provided. Concepts on how things would look. Don't get too hung up on like the actual equipment, like for the playground area or the splash pad. These are just conceptual in nature. We haven't gone down into the detail of what equipment we want to purchase
Just
for
visuals,
this. This is just visuals, exactly. But it gives you an idea how everything is kind of laid out, including the parking. And then the last page, it has, like, for instance, the skate park, so I did tell them I want to have all one level. This equipment in the skate park is all removable and replaceable. It's not permanent equipment. It's designed to be installed, and then when it wears out, you basically replace it. So it's cost effective and it's easier for staff rather than having a concrete surface in which we have to maintain and longevity. Obviously, you see the current condition out there. That's something that I want to get away from. So it'll be a concrete pad with basically these items that get installed. And then the court, as far as the courts, yes, the tennis court will be a tennis/pickleball court. We know that is planned. And then, you know, the full-size basketball court as well, so. That's it for the update on that. My goal for this is to actually probably put this plan on the next agenda for you guys to actually vote yea or nay. That way I can take it to council and get them basically to approve moving on. The next phase is essentially just getting the details and developing the cost of construction.
So it's on the agenda for today. Does anyone want to entertain a motion today?
We can do that.
You wanna do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the
It's
agenda for
under
today, so
discussion and
we can
possible
make a
action.
motion
Oh.
today.
Okay.
So would someone like to
If
make
you
a
guys
motion?
wanna take your time, or
recommend the
otherwise, yeah, I would
feasibility
love to,
report as
for you guys to entertain a
presented?
motion.
What we're going off of is what we
Oh, we asked for.
see here, and I'll motion.
Okay, second, so hearing it first from Corey, a second from Gloria, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
We have a Western Park flyer in front of us.
Swings.
Your last bit of
New
stuff on
business.
page 2.
It's part of the new business on the
Part of your
agenda.
new
Oh,
business
sorry,
on the next
okay,
page.
all right, summer recreation program. So Kaylee has been wonderful, thank you. The ad is out, like we've asked for. She's had 2 applicants turn in applications. We've reached out to the school district so that they can send an email. I just took the ad that Amy had ran, kind of morphed it together, said we wanted a plan presented before the board at the board meeting. Daniel, so, Amy had thought because chair and co-chair or someone else, we could get together that very last week before the meeting, go through those applications, reach out to the individuals and say, hey, we want you to come present, pitch your program before the board at that meeting in April. So that will come before us in April, and then we can make a decision.
When's the closing date on the?
The closing date on the applications is the Wednesday before our next meeting. Okay? Hang up. In order to use a gym with air conditioner, it's gonna cost between $100 and $200 a day, depending upon which gym. The new gym has already been reserved for one of the weeks, but I think the conversation was Blake, right?
I was gonna say, what about Blake, like cafeteria, or what about, I don't know, what about the Mormon church? They have a basketball court.
That's a possibility too.
I know that they,
I'm not a Mormon, but I don't know if anybody
Will they
is,
let us?
and let us in.
I don't
I'm
know.
not sure, but.
I don't know what the
Summers
rule is.
ago, they had the basketball program there, for the summer kids. So I don't know who the person to talk to would be.
I can call Dustin Nelson and ask him, because Dustin will know.
Yeah.
If
That's
not
just not-
that, I was also thinking maybe talking to Sarah, who owns Downtown Event Center, and seeing
I
if,
think that's
She's
gonna
renting it out, isn't she, doing the
be
daycare
rented
thing?
it out.
Yeah.
oh, never mind.
You know, when
But
my
you can
kids were
ask-
growing up, the Mormon church always did the Boy Scout stuff too.
Same.
And during the summer, they did, remember Gretchen used to plan that big, like, 2-week thing
But
where they would
that's
go
that
over
church
every day?
over here. The Mormon church is over here.
Mormon
No,
church
I
is
know.
over by my house.
The Mormon church right over here, like
Yeah.
by Lazy D.
Yeah, but Gretchen would do this one over here.
The-
Boy Scouts was this church by Blake.
Not,
But
we're older than you.
We're all,
Yeah.
Shine.
Shine your age.
Shine your age.
No, I don't want to, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they used to do the
the
little.
church over here, which?
The
Oh, yeah,
Lutheran
Gretchen's
church.
church, where
Yeah,
Gretchen
the
goes to
Lutheran-
church,
yeah,
the
the
Lutheran
Lutheran
church.
church.
Yeah.
The Lutheran church.
Lutheran church would be great. This church right here by the park,
But the Mormon church
Lutheran
doesn't
church is
have,
not that big and they don't have a big old gymnasium.
they have a like,
they have a,
room. We used to do meetings there, so.
Right.
It's not that big for all
It's,
those
it,
kids.
not.
How many
that big.
kids are we talking though?
The one at Grace is bigger than the one at the Lutheran church.
What happened? Sorry, I just totally jumped in. But in the back, and this might be totally off, of the community center, not just the senior center, that whole back is not used during lunch. I know the front is used during lunch, but there's
And
where
we're
those
done by
slides-
noon. What time does lunch
But
start?
they have yoga during the day and they have
okay.
all kinds of stuff.
country
going
dance
on.
classes.
Yes, they have country
Dance
classes.
classes.
On Thursday mornings, they do. The other thing is AWC
I
has
was
the
gonna
big
say
area.
AWC too.
So AWC is another option. You want to talk to your dad about AWC and I'll call Dustin about the Mormon church?
Sure.
Okay.
I can do that. Kaylee, ask Randy.
I'll talk to Randy.
No worries.
He likes Kaylee more.
Okay. I'll talk to you.
Have we ever used AWC yet? Like, and did that whole insurance thing with them before?
Me and Randy are like this.
Yeah, we did that for.
Me and Randy are like, this.
Okay, so anyway, the high school, so, I mean, you're looking at probably $3,000 to $4,000, which before you guys jump the gun, we have paid up to $1,700 to use the old gym to the school.
When
So $1,695.
are
So-
we doing, I know they get to kind of decide, we're doing 8 to noon, Monday through Thursday?
Monday through Friday.
Is it Monday through Friday, except for the holidays?
Except for the holidays.
Okay, because people were asking me and I'm like, I think it's Monday
Yeah.
through Thursday. I said it might be Monday through Friday. Okay, because I wasn't sure.
Your schedule, Amy.
I wasn't sure.
So I think that but the reality is if they came back and said, this is it and I want to do it, because summer school is going on, I don't want to conflict with the morning at summer school. I want to do it from 1 to, are we really going to say no if it's a great program? If they want to do it 1 to 5 instead of 8
Well,
to 12?
I feel like what we had decided though is that it's hard for parents to drop off kids at 1.
Well, and then also Crit is doing their stuff from 1 to
s-
something.
Yeah.
But it was older kids, I thought. I thought it wasn't the 1st to 5th graders. I thought it was
No,
5th to
Crit
8th
was
graders.
just about everybody. It was Pace in the library that
I was gonna
mainly
say,
Have the ages.
the ages.
Okay, so we'll see what they propose and pitch.
Yeah, because at AWC, that air conditioner runs already.
I mean, if they,
We don't have to
if
pay
the
anything.
person decides, Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, we're not gonna turn them down either way if it's a good plan, right? Okay.
So the Mormon church, however, does have, you're right. I
Does
mean,
have the
it has the basketball courts, it has a volleyball net to put up, it has the availability for those kids to be active, like Daniel was saying. So and then,
Don't they have a summer
Brad is
program
supposed to
too?
get back with me next week, huh?
A summer program of their own too?
The Mormon church?
Yeah.
They don't even have Boy Scouts anymore.
Oh, okay.
I live right across from them and I don't see
I live
nothing
right
going
around
on.
there too, and I hardly see anything.
Not
going
during the summer anyway.
I thought they did one, like I feel like each church takes 1 week.
And then
Oh,
they do
yeah,
a-
to do like a
Probably,
summer,
yeah,
a
they probably-
vacation,
or whatever.
Bible, yeah.
Okay, so I'll contact the Mormon church, you'll contact AWC. Ultimately, probably the school or the Mormon church will be better just because the availability for sports in there.
Yeah, because Blake doesn't have basketball hoops.
Well, you reach out to the church and then message or text me and let me know, and then I'll reach out to Randy after that.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'll reach out to Dustin.
When did Blake take away their basketball?
I'm I don't think, does Blake have basketball hoops in there?
Outside.
Lower level, don't they?
But we're talking in the,
Oh, we're talking about inside, so you would actually leave, you'd have to
go to outside.
You'd have to go outside to do the basketball,
Yeah.
which I'm just lazy and don't want to be
But I
outside.
thought Blake, I thought,
Yeah.
Blake, I thought they had the rollout ones. They
Blake
rolled
doesn't
out
have
of
it.
the gym. They rolled out of that room and set them up, the ones that were like rollout with the heavy bottoms on it.
You're talking about para. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think so.
The court is outside, but I know that the church over there has the basketball court inside and they could put the volleyball net up.
And then one of the firemen from Parker Fire, his wife is a teacher, he was gonna talk to her because he thought maybe she would be interested.
And one of the teachers from Head Start reached out to me too, but she's not sure if Head Start's doing a summer school, if that's a thing. She said she's not sure if she's helping with summer school, so I don't know what that means.
Okay, so hopefully the high school will run that to all the staff, because then it'll go to classified as well. And then you'll follow up with the Head Start. The link
Yeah,
from Head
and
Start.
then So a couple other people have reached out to me, they were like, I don't know if I could take on that many kids, and I said, I think there's like a program where we, use college students home for summer to help, so I wanna make sure that that's still
Yeah,
correct.
that was CRIT. That was the
Work
acronym.
program.
ED&T program.
That one.
Yep,
AT&T. And I've not done anything to try to secure those kids, no.
I'll contact
Because
ED&T.
We talked
Okay.
about, allowing them to limit it to about 40 kids,
right,
so.
okay,
But even then, 40 kids with one person?
That's
Oh,
a lot.
Heck no.
yeah.
That age?
I think that's the ratio for
I-
that age, but I will
I
contact
couldn't do
ED&T.
two.
You can get like, what, 2 kids over there to help?
Yeah, at least.
3. All right, and the one year that we had ED&T, the town actually, they pitched in and did some kids too. So it was, I think ED&T provided 4 and the town provided 4.
Yep.
So that's not something we have not done before. All right, so at this point for the summer rec program, we know we have at least 2 applications, we still need applicants, and then at the next meeting, we'll review. 2 of us will get with Amy the week before to get the applications and make sure they understand to bring some kind of program to pitch in front of the board.
The next meeting.
At the next meeting.
April,
The April-
And so are the applicants aware of that? You said then we'll get with Amy so the applicants know to come to the next meeting?
Well, the email that's going out to the school does say they need to put a plan together and they need to be ready to pitch a plan to come before. But, go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, we haven't told the applicants to do that yet. Kind of hard to ask people to do that if we're not gonna interview them. You know what I mean? So if we ask every applicant to do it, and then we don't interview them, then they've done all this work for nothing.
Just a rough draft.
Isn't the presentation that you're asking them
That
to
is the
do?
That
interview,
is the
yeah, that
interview,
is the
yeah.
interview.
Okay,
So-
so you want
Yeah.
everybody to do a presentation?
With,
Yeah.
with no direction, just pitch us your best idea. That's what
Yeah.
we're doing?
With the time constraints, with the,
I don't work like that, so, I think we have to give them direction and boundaries.
some sort of, yeah.
Guidelines?
I don't work like
Yeah, and that's what I had said before, but they wanted everybody to come up with their own individually. I'm like, well, we have to at least be like, okay, it's gonna be Monday through Friday, it's gonna be 8 to noon, it's gonna be this many kids.
And it needs to be focused
and
around
it needs
this.
to be focused around this,
Whatever you want to do within those parameters, present.
Yes, so, educational activities.
do you want them to
arts and
present like day
crafts.
by day or week by week? Like what exactly are we?
I wouldn't say specific, like
Overview.
an overview, be like, every Tuesday I'm gonna do an art project, every Wednesday
Oh,
we're
yeah,
gonna
that's a good
do this, just a
Okay.
general idea, not specific.
And if
what
they
art
decide
project.
to take these kids to the movies here, they have to provide their own transportation?
See, I feel like Crit does a lot of that. I don't feel like we should even,
Okay,
So in the past.
We
the-
did before. We go
or
bowling and
maybe
stuff?
one day they're like, hey, instead of meeting at, say we go to the
know-
Mormon church, instead of meeting at the Mormon church, we're gonna be at the splash pad all day.
exactly.
Like,
and
do they
that day,
provide their
maybe every-
own?
And that's what I had said, like, we could do something, because we have a budget, like every Friday, have one bounce house and them meet at the splash pad. You know what I mean?
Or-
And so that would be the
It could
fun.
be in the air condition with a inflatable projector and watch a movie.
Watch a movie,
Who
exactly.
provided the transportation before for bowling? You did?
The town?
Oh, I was like, yes, Steve, you
so-
drove 40 kids to have it.
We loaded them up in the buses, in the vans.
So 2 churches donated vans and a driver. So Ken drove the Grace Assembly of God van, and then Lori Baldenegro drove her church van. And then we used the senior center vans and some of the employees from the senior center drove. And that's how, and they did. They went to Havasu to the Aqua Center, they went to the Aquatic Center, the movies were different. The movie days, they got dropped off at the movies and picked up from the movies. When they went down to Aha Cobb Preserve for the picnics and stuff, then they had arranged the vans from the senior center and, yeah.
Well, let's just wait and
So-
see, because if I'm a
Then it's
person trying to do
transportation.
that, I'm not trying to do that. But if we have somebody that wants to do that, then we'll make
I
it
mean,
happen
limiting-
if that's what we want to do.
Limiting the town or anybody having to move children of that many and
You know, because
responsible
we
would
do
be
have the movie theater, which is good, drop off, pick up. Drop 'em
Splash
off.
On the
pad.
days that we did the
Yeah.
splash pad, it was exactly the
Same
same
thing,
way.
okay.
You
And
know?
on those days, generally, so I did talk to Karen, and we can make the arrangements with the lunches. So she can provide the lunch every day. So, and then that would help with her numbers, but it's only during the weeks that there is summer school available. So we're gonna go back to the fact that if we do this program for the whole first 4 weeks, and we do it from 8 to 12, then any of the kids that are in summer school can't participate.
Yeah, I mean, they can't, there's a lot that they can't. The library still has their stuff going on, Pace still has their stuff going on.
Summer school is very limited anyway.
Yeah,
like,
there's very,
super limited.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
not very many kids that do that, do the
Okay.
summer school.
So our parameters are what? We want them,
So,
it's limited within the town.
Yeah, I would say no Havasu.
It's a Monday through Friday,
Excluding holidays.
excluding
'cause
holidays,
July, 4th of
8
July.
AM to 4, or to
8 to noon.
To noon. Okay, and what do we want the program around? Do we want it around physical activity? Do you want?
Combination, I would say.
So
you
what
know?
we said at the last meeting, because you asked about parameters, what
Mhm.
we said at the last meeting is that it would be Monday through Thursday excluding the holiday, or Monday through Friday excluding the holidays. The hours would preferably be 8 to noon, because then the parents can pick them up either at the gym for lunch or depending upon where we are. If we're in the new gym, they all get walked over to Wallace for free lunch, parents pick them up at the lunch. If it, you know, anyway, so, and then we said that the program, because you had said you wanted more recreation, because we're a recreation community, that the individual would get to pitch a recreation program for first to fifth grade students with a limited number of students based upon adult supervision that we had, and that the program would need to either be recreation with a combination of educationally based, but that it should best match their personality so that they could offer a program that would be enriched based upon where they could be successful. So we would like a summer recreation program centered around activity for children aged first grade to fifth grade to run preferably 8 to noon, but they would get paid for 5 hours a day. 20 hours ahead of time to do all their preparation and get stuff situated, and they would be given a $500 allowance for balls. So is that not enough direction, or do we need more?
Well, it just made it sound like they had no
It sounds like
direction.
there's nothing
That's
like
why I was
that. Like you said that, but I don't think that was on the.
That's what we said
the
at the
job
last meeting.
I want to say on the job description, it said
it?
something about doing crafts and,
Stuff like that.
yeah, there was
Okay.
like some sort of blurb.
So all I'm asking is that, you know, for somebody to take this on, that they know this, so they have plenty of time. Because Amy, am I correct to say that they don't know that, the two people that applied? What just all was explained?
They don't know that.
Okay, if I can have phone numbers, I'll be glad to contact to them.
It's not about the phone numbers.
Okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'd rather not discuss.
Okay, that's fine. So,
You're good. Now, I hear it now, so it's good.
Yeah, because like Daniel said, it sounded like there was nothing before, but now there is, so.
Right.
Good.
I'm only reiterating what we said at the last meeting.
I wasn't here, so I.
Oh,
couldn't hear.
sorry, I'm only reiterating what
Yeah,
we said
but-
at the last meeting.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but like if you look at the job description, like apply for this job, Parks and Recs, but then there's really no, you're gonna have to do A, B, and C.
Well, okay,
So going forward, the applicants that apply will be given this knowledge, and I'm assuming that the two that have
I'll
already.
update the job description, I didn't.
and that,
I know. That's, okay, we're good.
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. So essentially, Amy, what is the job descriptions at the town of Parker?
What is the job description?
No, I have it in my email. It says that we need someone to run a summer rec program.
Yeah, with supervision under the,
Maybe we should just put on there, pick up application. Go
So
ahead.
we've got two things. We've got an ad and a job description.
Mhm.
The job description is fully encompassing. I literally copied and pasted from Litchfield Park.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the job description is different than the ad, and that's what everybody sees as the ad.
Okay, okay,
Are you on the website?
I'm going right now.
Yeah, so Town of Parker is accepting applications for the position of recreational program coordinator. The salary is 36 for an 8-week program from June 3rd through July 25th. Must be able to obtain a fingerprint clearance card and pass drug tests under general supervision, provides its directs, coordinates, and evaluates youth services and programs. See job description for additional required knowledge, duties, skills, abilities. And then, you know, the application should be submitted to. So where would they find that job description?
On the website?
On the
I
website.
went to the website and I typed in like the search bar, summer rec, and it pulled up this,
Right, it's very all-encompassing,
So,
with
okay,
qualifications, and it's very all-encompassing.
So maybe that needs to be, because I'm seeing what you saw. So I clicked on the link that was on the website, on the Facebook post, and it just took me to this.
Right, but then you click on the job description, so the banner at the top says click on the corresponding picture for,
Download and print application, online application, full, on the announcement
yeah, so if you
below.
click on the actual posting of the ad, it brings up the full job description.
Gotcha. Did not click on that.
Okay. It's Colorado.
And that's where it says create blah, blah, I see what you're saying. So it's just a few clicks to get to it.
So what we had talked about was the week, Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but what we had talked about was the week before, two of us would get together, we would call them, explain to them that they could come and talk about the program that they thought would be the most successful under their direction, pitch that to us at the meeting.
Yes, that's why we closed it on the 3rd, which is
Right.
a Wednesday, so on Thursday we could discuss, and I could get that on the agenda for Tuesday's meeting.
Right, so is that, I mean, if we're lacking something, please speak up.
No, only reason I spoke up is because.
Yeah, no.
When we were asking someone to show up, I didn't hear any of this.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, if I'm sitting here and I'm gonna apply for this, and you told me just to come up with an idea, and I show up all excited with this idea, and you're like, that isn't what we're looking for, I'm gonna look at you like, well, why am I wasting my time?
Yeah, and I would feel that way too.
Like, I you know, it's like someone that's coming to pitch something and they totally missed the mark. We would be like, yeah, it wouldn't be a good look on our part.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
so,
so
but I think
we
with
just-
what you just said, if we can get that so that applicants know which we've talked about right now, then I'm good.
Okay, so is anything I said nothing that we said, I mean, like, that is pretty much a sum of what we said last meeting, right? That we were gonna do, right?
Yep.
Okay, so at this point, I think for the summer rec program, Amy, thank you for your time, thank you for your energies and effort. We'll continue the way that we had discussed, is the Thursday before, we'll get together, get stuff situated for but we still have to figure out a place where they can do this. So, I'll contact the Mormon Church, and then, Brad's supposed to call me back. There are some limitations with the new gym, but then understanding, how does that cost fit into everything?
you have money available, so, I mean, if it's
It'll
gonna
just-
be, if it's gonna be $4,000 based off that number of weeks, you have funds available for it.
And we know now that it could cost up to $200, and we know now ahead of time to,
Put it in the budget.
budget
we'll
for
put
it.
it in the budget.
Put that in, so
I'm-
yeah, we'll make sure you know that, based
$100
upon
a
what
day.
Brad tells,
Well, it
huh?
said $100 to $200.
Yeah,
But I
so-
know, I'm just saying.
So it could be,
For 200.
But
and I
hopefully only
calculated
up to
at
some-
100, not
Yeah.
200. And then it sounded like they would allow us to kind of move from Blake School to the new gym based upon what we needed to be. But if we did try to stay at the new gym, that would make it very convenient for them to go for the lunch program.
Yes.
At least the month that the lunch program is in, because I think we had talked about trying to support the lunch program as
Yeah.
well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
So just to clarify, what are the holidays? Just the 4th of July?
It's just the 4th of July that I saw on my calendar, yeah.
The town does observe Juneteenth,
Mhm.
Well, if the
so-
town observes it, then we observe it,
Okay.
right?
the town also doesn't work on Fridays, but we're gonna ask them to work on
It's-
Fridays.
It is a national holiday now.
So
Yes, we are gonna ask them to work on
just
Fridays.
a
I don't
little
agree with that, Monday
breakdown.
through Thursday.
Just a little breakdown on the salary, if we do, 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, that's 25 hours times the 8 weeks, that's 200 hours divided by 3,600, that's $18 an hour. Just FYI, so you guys are aware of that.
Okay. So when we talked, we had said that it was gonna, because I thought, somebody had calculated and said that it was like $20 an hour is what we were paying.
It's gonna be give or take with that holiday. I just did straight 8 weeks.
Just straight, yeah.
Okay,
5 times.
but in,
Minus, if there's 2 holidays, then.
okay, but in the conversation, we said that they were gonna get 20 hours in May because we wanted them to be at the PACE meetings, remember? So that they could discuss the stuff with PACE, remember we said that? So they were gonna get 20 hours in May to actually put that plan together and to do all of the organizing for
The curriculum.
the curriculum, creating their checklist for when the kids are there and when they're not there.
I think we were
I
gonna
would-
do July
regis-
4th and 5th because it was like a
That's
Thursday
what
and
it was.
Friday.
That's what it was. The holiday was the 4th, so we're gonna take that Friday off.
Yeah, the 4th and the
And
5th.
if you took one day off a week, it does bump it to $20 an hour.
And that's
Just food for
probably,
thought.
yeah, so that probably,
If you take the one day off for the 8 weeks. it'll
my
bump it.
concern is,
I didn't know about the 20 hours.
Oh, the extra, no, I just calculated the extra 20 in.
and they've got 5 hours a day. My concern with making them have Friday, Steve, there were a lot of times when there were issues and a town employee was called. And so we're setting them up for a day where if there's a problem, there is no town employee on duty that day.
Yeah, the town employee was me.
Yeah.
So,
And so therefore, maybe we really do want to consider just doing Monday through Thursday. Because if there's a problem, there's no town
Salary.
employee that's working.
no, well, I think you should keep the Friday.
Okay.
It is what it is, honestly.
Yeah, especially for consistency.
Yeah.
And
It's
if you
easier
take
for
off those 2
parents.
extra days, it's only 170 hours total, which makes it a little over $21 an hour.
There we go. So,
And so we're saying that
The math.
so we're
math.
saying that the Juneteenth, June 9th is the day off, and then July 4th and 5th are the holidays. So there's
June
three.
9th is a Sunday.
June 19th?
Oh,
19th?
that's in the middle of the week.
You just said it was a federal holiday.
Said it, it is a federal holiday.
Sunday, you said?
Just said
It's a Wednesday.
no,
I'm
it's
just
a
saying,
Wednesday.
I'm saying it's a federal holiday. I don't know what rules and regulations, because we are a town, like, what,
I'll just say, for somebody that works in healthcare, we don't get those days off. So if you have
those
if
days
you have
off.
kids that your parent is in the healthcare field, they're most likely not gonna have that day
but
off.
they probably will have, well, and like banks aren't gonna close on that day.
You ain't gonna see me at work.
Yeah. Nova Home Loans isn't gonna close that day.
Government related
Government, so,
agencies
but if we
mostly.
do, how are we gonna run into it if we
24
close
hours,
for
so
Fourth
we're
of July, but we don't close for Juneteenth?
No, we're gonna close for Juneteenth. It is a federal holiday.
So we, okay. That's what I'm saying. I don't want,
Yeah, you know, it is a federal.
It's
holiday.
written.
The college doesn't take it off, but we talked about it and go, why aren't we taking this day? And our president said, you guys wanna take it, we will, but we're gonna take one of your spring break days. Really?
That's what the
So-
town had to do too, right? Yeah. And that the county does that
We didn't
too.
wanna do that.
County, we
would
had to
just
give
wanted
up
the other-
another
the
holiday
extra
in order
day.
to get it, yes. And we weren't asked whether we wanted to or not. I would have rather kept the other holiday. Okay, so there's 3 holidays then.
Federal.
Amy, are we
3
good with that?
days, yeah,
3 days.
Wednesday, June 19th, and July 4th and 5th, are we good with that?
and the 5th,
Okay.
because it's a Thursday, Friday.
Bug in AWC's ear while the bug is here.
Oh, hey, Bug,
AWC.
Excuse me, sir.
I know, I was gonna,
what would be the likelihood if we needed to of using the room for the summer rec program? The conference room over there for the summer rec program?
What,
Like-
every day?
Monday through Friday,
Monday
8 to
through Friday,
5, or
8
8 to noon.
So we're not open Friday.
So it'd have to be Monday through Thursday then.
But
8 to,
I would say maybe,
okay.
only because if we do that, then nobody's gonna be able to use that room for 2 months, right? Because it'll be
It'll be
taken.
taken.
For 4
yeah.
hours.
And I don't know that we have anything, but I'll check. But there would be no cost or anything.
It would be 8 to noon, so if they needed the room, they could have it
Oh, 8 to noon.
from 1 to whatever.
Smelling like
Yeah.
stinky kids after.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it is just that one back room. They could still have the front room where you first come in the
Well,
entrance.
if you have, how many kids?
40.
Probably
Oh,
40.
that's it? Okay. I think we can work it out. We'll just need an insurance waiver thing from the town, whatever the college asks for. Yeah, but that'd be
The
great.
school district is wanting between $100 and $200 a day to use
I
their,
don't- There were, a
their-
day.
a
Well,
day.
To pay for the
use
AC, to pay to run the AC that
Run the
wouldn't
AC.
normally be
No,
running.
It would be free. It would be free.
So let's just do
would assure you.
Use a
AWC.
combination of both and using the gym and that
Yeah, or
for
maybe
like a
we
different
do the
activity
gyms on
that
Fridays
that the
because they're
person
closed on
may
Fridays. So
plan.
Friday would be,
And then it would only
Like
be like
straight-
$20 a week, I would think, or 30.
yeah.
Yeah,
So if we just did
Not a
every
bad idea.
Friday at the gym and every Monday through Thursday at AWC.
Okay, well, we can make that decision at the next meeting when we have a little bit more information.
Yeah.
Western Park, okay, so new business.
Business, so in front of you, you have.
Before you guys go really quickly, so we have a quorum,
You guys
can we
have
have
to-
a
you have to
motion?
vote.
I have a T-ball game to
Do we
get
have a
to.
motion to approve the
We've
park?
got 5
Pop-up
items
replay-
to approve here, folks,
Yeah.
before you leave, 4 items on that last page, second page.
Because we can't approve if you
Okay,
guys
let's
aren't
go,
here.
let's go. I gotta
We
go.
have 2 things that I am planning for the budget. One is the Western Park swing set replacement. That's the first one there, okay?
Western Park, this one.
The other 3 are for the Pop Harvey playground equipment replacement. There's 3 options. Okay, each one is different in type and size and I guess you say these.
So which one do any of them have handicap accessible stuff?
I like 3.
Specifically?
Yep. We make handicap accessible jungle gym equipment?
The only thing I could see was the swing sets, almost look like one of the swings on the swing set was almost like a handicap swing.
I don't know if there's anything specific for ADA or
Okay.
for handicap on the Pop Harvey Park options.
And then option number 2, that little playground in the back is for toddlers, huh?
Option number 3 incorporates that as well. So these are all for the appropriate age group, from toddlers up to 12 years old. So you see the size and quantity, and keep in mind, these are gonna be in the budget as grant-funded projects, and we have to apply for the grants to actually get the work, get the equipment. The one for Western Park, we will be building, meaning town staff will be building the actual enclosed area in concrete. And it'll be situated next to the existing playground area.
Do you have a big one for Western Park?
No, I do.
You
guys
do?
not.
Can you want to walk around?
Why, sure. Anna?
Sorry, I see this, but then I saw what you had and I was like, ooh, I want to see that.
It's just, it won't be, it'll have the shade, it comes with the shade.
Oh, that's nice.
It won't be brown in color, it'll match the current shade that we have over there.
Okay.
Green shade
Yeah.
covers.
I like that.
And then the 2 middle ones will be toddler swings, not the.
Yeah,
Two
can we have
middle
the,
ones,
can we have
yes,
the
this is one
toddler
that
swings
show-
right next to each
like
other,
Oh, yes.
please?
yours does. It shows the
Yeah.
For the love
infants.
of God.
And
These are the infant seats. and
Right,
these
and
are
the
toddler, and then 2 of those.
Kaylee running back and forth.
Gloria was watching me
Just
put
like
That, but not like that, but yeah.
And
I
then
just was
they
trying
wouldn't
to.
let me
put
push
them
this,
right
so
next to
Kaylee
each
just
other,
went back and
please.
forth.
Yeah.
Okay, can I make a motion to approve the Western Park swings?
And I just need as far as a decision
Yes.
on which option to go with.
I like
Number
3.
3.
3.
For which one, Pop Harvey?
Do you need 3 separate motions?
No.
Okay.
You can just say, put it all in motion, you
Okay.
wanna
Not making a motion? Who
make,
wants?
make a
to-
motion that you're choosing option 3 in your
Yeah,
motion.
so but between us.
3 has no kind of,
Monkey bars?
monkey bars.
That's okay.
That's kind of good.
Well, that's okay.
Whereas 2
That's some
does.
music equipment or something, though. That look
2
kinda cool.
doesn't have
And-
monkey bars. Oh, that's 1, sorry, I'm looking
Yeah,
at 1.
2 does. 2 has
And,
monkey
and you
bars
don't
right here.
see any tunnels in these because of all the graffiti that
I like the
happens on
tunnel on
tunnels.
3 because it's a net.
Yeah, but
The only problem
also,
with
let's
that,
be honest,
unfortunately, is we're already seeing
majority of the kids
cuts
cannot
on
do monkey
the,
bars.
on the new playground equipment,
I don't
rope
think monkey bars is that good
Cut
of an
it.
idea.
now. Something for us to be
That was
mindful
all
of.
my
We're
daughter
not doing the
did
graffiti, but
every
they're cutting
day on
the
the playground growing up, was trying to
So-
like doors.
I think option two to
Constantly
get
had big
option
old
3.
blisters on her hands because of it.
like option 3.
I like
But
option
that's
three.
just my opinion.
All right, entertain a motion for option 3 and to make the recommendation to town council for Western Park and option 3.
Okay, I make a motion to entertain the, whatever she said, for Western Park Swings and Pop Harvey Park option 3.
Second.
Say, motion from Kylie and second from Gloria. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. I'll entertain someone to make a motion to approve the meetings of December 12th, January 9th, and February 13th as presented by Amy. Understand that December 12th and January,
To take them all separately.
Yeah,
yes, we
because
will, because of the abstaining. Okay, so can I get a motion for the December
So,
12th?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for December 12th.
Kylie makes the motion. Second by Kaylee, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I make a-
January 9th,
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for January 9th.
Kylie makes the first,
I second.
Kaylee makes the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for February 13th, 2024.
Hold on
We
just a
don't
minute,
have-
hold on just a minute. Oh,
Do we have a
1,
quorum?
2, that,
Members Rodriguez and Beavers were absent.
right.
I was
So
there,
1,
though.
2, 3,
cannot-
4.
They cannot
So,
vote.
but Corey wasn't,
Corey was
I was
there.
here for the February.
okay, perfect. Okay, so motion by
second.
Kylie and second by
Kaylee.
Kaylee, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, with the note that on the December 12th meeting, Vice Chair Beavers, do you abstain? Okay, with the February 13th meeting, Rodriguez and Beavers, do you abstain?
Yes.
Okay, just in case it has to be verbalized,
You got it.
because you guys weren't here to vote. They can't vote, so they have to abstain, because they're here today. All right, anything else?
Way to go, team.
Okay. Nope. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Kaylee. Awesome, guys. Awesome. All around. Thank you.
Oh, girl, we got green. 19-0. Where do you play? Me.
I'm so sorry. And this weekend was so crazy and I felt so bad. I was like,
All right, it looks like everything's off of here. Steve, do you need anything from me?
No, thank you.
Sometimes my brain starts into just.
Yeah, who did Kylene made the motion on the park, right? on the-
Park, on the recommendation for the
Yes.
park, that was Kylie.
Who did the second?
Gloria.
Okay. All right,
And then it was Kylie and Kaylee for the rest of it.
got 'em.
And then they do have to verbally abstain, correct?
No,
They
they
weren't
just,
here.
they don't have to
They
necessarily.
just don't have to vote.
They don't have to vote.
All right, I just didn't want to get caught where it had
Perfect,
something
you
else.
did great.
No, I
You
didn't.
did good,
It
yes, you did.
It was a mess. All right,
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you too.
Don't worry till let me know about the banners. Because if we need to get those ordered, we need to get those
Yeah,
orders.
I'm gonna be checking tomorrow.